Hello, I'd like to welcome you to a series of videos by Tradesparq.com, the social network for global trade. We're going to be going in depth to China manufacturing facilities to see how they're producing the products that we see around the world today. So remember, join Tradesparq.com to find the best China manufacturers.那你可以介绍一下他们在这边怎么做？
我们这里呢是有一套网上的管理和制度，还有一个超出过程。怎么过程呢？我们就是从瓶子过来，就是有很多垃圾的，有不良瓶，我们经过清洗，经过药水清洗机器流程，洗过内脏全部把它搞干净。经过以后，我们要经过另外一个车间，再把它烘干。
Okay, so let's go to the next step. Okay, so this is the second stage of production and value-added service. So I'll let Mr. Li tell us a little bit about this stage.
我们经过刚才那个车间，就是清洗之后，清过之后用那个篓子把它烘干。烘干之后，我们第一步上甲具，甲具之后上好之后，我们就是上那线，在自动线。
So now we're going on to the next step. We've put the caps on as part of this process so that the bottles can turn. And now Mr. Li is going to tell us about the third step.
因为我们那里上好之后，就放在这里上，就是甲具。
Okay, so then after that, we go to this part. You can see, actually, we'll give you a shot of the bottles spinning over here. But some of this is all hand-done work. Okay, so previously you saw where they were spray painting the bottles. Now after those bottles are spray painted, they come out on this conveyor belt and they're pulled off the line and then thrown into the dryer.
这边等于说是出来进入烘干，烘干之后，这个好的坏的不良品从后面把它卷出来。
So after this step, we'll see them come out the back, and then that's where they do another layer of QC to pull the ones off that don't meet quality standards. Okay, these are the bottles that have now come out of the dryer. And if you can see over here, actually she's checking all of the bottles. Any of the ones that don't meet quality standards then are pulled out. Sometimes they will go ahead and clean these off and then re-put them through the process. And then after they pass QC, then they can be sold on.
我们呢就是说这边生产之后喷出来，喷过严格的后检。如果看到有垃圾的、有碰伤的，全部要选出来。合格之后我们就进库。
Yeah, they can do about 40,000 bottles per day. So, do the math on the capacity for the entire year. That's only the painting and the drying of the bottles, does not include the printing. Yeah, I won't show the brand here, but this is a typical bottle that would come out. You can see at the bottom it's transparent, and then it increases in gradient as it goes up. Yeah, so typically this type of bottle they're doing about 40,000 per day. The next step, I'll show you what they do with those bottles that actually don't pass QC. They put them in an oven, which then strips the paint off of them, and then they can reuse them and put them through the process again. We just talked about those that didn't pass QC. Well, what happens is they take those and they put those in this oven, which I can still feel the heat coming off of these things. They crank this baby up to 500 degrees Celsius, and that strips all of the paint off, and then they can go back through the process again. So they're really looking to reduce the waste. Okay, so the difference between these two is the one on top hasn't gone through this taping process where they put tape over it, so it gives it sort of a silver look to it. And this is the station at which they do that. So these get put in here, and then later we'll show you, what that looks like. 这个东西如果万一破坏，那怎么办？
破坏这个东西就是要第一要注意 啊，叫工人注意。但是说它这个东西，你说很怕坏的话呢，也没有这么怕坏的。啊，它里面有包装的。
Okay, we're going to take a look at the packaging real quick here. So you can see how it's packed. Every one has their individual area so that if something happens to the box, not all of the bottles will break. Here's another packed box. This one we actually have baggies around each one of the bottles. This protects the bottle and also makes sure that it doesn't, there's no garbage that gets in there. This is actually for a customer in Korea. Okay, 他们在这边做什么呢？
这边就是烫金，字先印好，印好把这个外面那个人穿衣服一样，就是。
Okay, so this is where they're printing and stamping, I should say, the brand on top of the bottle. This is a golden kind of film that gets stamped on top, probably through heat, I would imagine. 是这个上面是热的，对不对？要把它对 Yeah. So it basically burns the this film on top of it. Okay, this is where we're doing the printing. And actually, you can't see from the top because we don't want to show the brands, but there's this brand is stamped on top, so printed on top. Great. So this is where they actually take a photo of what it's supposed to look like. I won't show you in detail, but basically it's the design of what's supposed to be stamped on top of the bottle. And in a second, we'll give you just basically a quick look at all this. They take this and they put it into the finishing machines over here on the side, the printing machines that print the brands on top of the bottles. Yeah, so this part of the process is basically taking the film and then turning it into the plates that you just saw back there. This is the machine that they use to basically iron it onto the plate. Okay, this is the last stage, and we'll have Mr. Lee explain what they're doing here.
我们经过前面几道关过来做好之后，这里把它持平，再选一次。
Okay, so after we've gone through all the process, the cleaning of the bottles, the putting on the conveyor belt, painting the bottles, putting on the brands, the drying of the bottles previously, putting on the brands, doing the final finishing of the bottle, then they come to this stage, and this is where they do another QC check and then put the bags on the bottles. So this one, there's a small problem on this one, so they will take this one out and then go ahead and redo it. So there's two small spots on the bottle, and so for this one they're going to send back through the process. This gets pulled in the QC. Thanks for watching today's video of China's best manufacturers, and remember to join us at www.tradesparq.com, the social network for global trade.